Going live.
All right.
Man, okay. Here we go. All right, good Saturday morning to you people out there in Facebook land. We're back again here on Sports Chat. We got John, we got Ron, and I'm HT. What's going on, everybody?
What's up? What's up? What's going on?
How
How's
y'all
the
been? Y'all
fellas?
doing good?
Doing
Yes.
excellent.
Yes.
We're here in Sports Central, about to watch college football. I got the Gordon Ramsay showing up at Colorado today. He's on Big Noon kickoff. So I'm gonna try. It's my wife's birthday today. I'm gonna shout out to Mrs. Thomas. Today's her 51st birthday.
All right, Trishka, happy
Shout out.
birthday to
Shout
you.
out. First lady.
All right, well, fellas, a good sports week. Next week is even greater because everything will be going on. Next week, baseball playoffs, NBA preseason starts. College football is in high gear. NFL's going strong. So everything. WNBA will probably be in finals next week. So there's a lot happening out there. A lot going on. A lot going on.
No better
Listen,
time to be a sports fan. No better time to get.
before we let John get all happy about the Michigan and football, Ron and John, you got to give me your thoughts on Dame time going to the Bucks.
Oh, listen. Go. You want to go ahead first, Ryan?
Yeah. I'm happy to see that Dave has escaped, and he finally has somebody on his team who is an equal in level and talent.
Ooh, jeez.
It's going to be kind of crazy, whether they can, they build the rest of the guys around them. They got a pretty solid team there, but man, that's just nuts, man. I mean, I don't know how you're going to defend, Giannis and Dame. The folks in Wisconsin are going to be very pleased. Now, so we'll, it remains to be seen how good they're going to be. But man, I'm happy for Dame though. He's got to get a guy a shot, man. I mean, give him a shot. He's earned the opportunity to go try to compete, and now he's got arguably the best player in the game to do it with. It's crazy.
Me? My turn? Me?
Go ahead, Johnny.
Listen. Give the Bucks the title now.
Just like that, John.
Give them the title right now. The fact, and let me concur with Ron. I am happy for Dame. Listen, he gave Portland everything he possibly could have given.
He owes them nothing.
And to be perfectly honest with you, I think the moment that they traded C.J. McCollum would have been the day I raised my hands. Hey, stop this train, let me off. But the fact that he gave them several years after they traded his backcourt mate and I don't want to hear anybody slandering Dame for requesting a trade out of Portland. And to their credit, I don't even think Portland management or their fans are were very, very vocal with it. Now, I don't know what they may have said behind closed doors, but at least publicly, I haven't heard any backlash coming from Portland management or Portland fans concerning Dame's trade request. We all know good and well that man gave blood, sweat, and tears to that organization, and they failed to surround him with the talent that was necessary. They made that one run to the Western Conference Finals and got swept by the Golden State Warriors. But aside from that, they gave him nothing to work with. So props to Dame. I'm glad that he didn't go to Miami. I think that this fit with Giannis and the Bucks is a much better fit for him than the Miami Heat. I don't know why, from a basketball standpoint, he thought that Miami would be a better option for him. But the fact that they were able to secure his services without now, I mean, I feel bad about Drew Holiday. Hey, but that's the cost of business. You got a chance to land one of the top 10 and arguably top 5 players in this league. Bye-bye, Drew.
Gotta do it.
See you later. Hey, good working with you. Thank you for helping us win that chip. But hey, gotta see you later. But the fact that they were able to secure his services without giving up Chris Middleton.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
amazing to me. That's amazing to me. They are going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I'm gonna go on record as saying that Giannis and Dame will be the most powerful duo in the league that we've seen since Shaq and Kobe. I'm gonna go on record as saying that.
Wow, that's big. What you, Ron?
That's
What you think about
high
that? Shaq
praise.
and Kobe, he said.
Now I'm not saying they are Shaq and Kobe. Don't.
No, I hear you.
But I think
Uh,
they will be the best duo, especially big man. You know, Giannis is 7 feet. Especially the big man guard combo that you've seen since Shaq and Kobe. I will go on record as saying that. Props to the Bucks for pulling that off. Huge deal, because you saw recently on social media and on the news where Giannis had been questioning out loud
Right.
Milwaukee's
yeah.
commitment to putting the team around him. This ought to silence all of that. You couldn't have did better for Giannis than to
So
pair him.
now the pressure's on Giannis. Okay,
The pressure's on Giannis.
Dame. What you gonna do year after next?
We have delivered you a top 5 player without substantially gutting your team.
Right. The economic impact of
Right.
Giannis leaving Milwaukee as a free agent potentially, like just for the city and the state of Wisconsin,
It's huge.
They can't afford him to go, bro. They had to do something.
It's huge.
I mean,
that franchise immediately drops in value the moment Giannis. Same
away.
thing happened to Cleveland. The value of the franchise dropped precipitously the moment LeBron James got on the plane to Miami.
And it takes a long time to find a franchise player like that. Like, you look at the Celtics when Len Bias died back in '86.
Yes, sir.
It took them decades to rebuild that team. They from that point on, they didn't win again until 2008. Right? It took them almost 30 years to find another guy. It doesn't happen every day, man. It doesn't. So
and the death of Reggie Lewis, that was devastating for that franchise.
Yep. Yeah, I'll never forget that draft day, man. I was so outdone.
When he passed
away,
Red
Auerbach was smoking that cigar, grinning, because he knew what he had just done. I mean, that was huge.
You got to remember, he was generating more buzz coming out of college than Michael Jordan was.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Business
for sure. And the thing was, he was a small forward doing Michael Jordan stuff. That boy, which is ridiculous.
He was that guy.
Yeah, but that I would have loved to see how that would have been for the Celtics.
When I was in the
that would have forced the Lakers to have to match that some kind of way.
No question.
I was in 11th grade at the time. I think it was 11th grade at the time, and
11th grade.
I remember watching the draft, and then I went to school the next morning, and Ray Wilcox was sitting behind me in math. I think it was in math class or something, and he was like, "Yo, Ron, you hear what happened to Len Bias?" And I was like, "Yeah, he just got drafted by the Celtics." I didn't find out about him passing away till I got to school the next day.
Unbelievable.
I just remember I was like, "What?" He told me.
Unbelievable.
It was just like so crazy. I was like,
"What year was that?" Was
it
86?
1986, June 9th. I was 13 years old when that
happened. Yeah.
Wow.
I was in 11th grade.
I was up in East Lansing, man. And I was going to work that morning. I was like froze. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But
crazy.
This is going to send shockwaves throughout the NBA. I was floored when I saw this deal. I said, "Wow."
Listen, man, I'm gonna say this tomorrow turns October. It's my favorite time of the year, and the reason I say that, you got basketball. We got college football at its height. It's crazy right now. We're talking about the NBA.
Right. We're talking about the NBA.
We got baseball heating up. You got basketball, college football, hockey. If you're a hockey fan, you got it. High school football. Shout out to Tank and them. They lost last night. They had a chance to to North Paulding to play Walton High School. They both was undefeated, 5-0. 10 can't play, but they had a shot, man, to prove themselves last night, and they lost. Shout out to them. High school football, crazy, man. Look, this is the best time of the year, hands down.
For a sports fan, there's no greater time of year than right now.
None.
And, I think it was Monday, right? I was going to the post office, and I was saying, the NBA start
right
Saturday, right? Or Sunday. I said it's awfully quiet, right? And then the next day, boom! I was like,
boom,
yeah, boom, Dame time,
boom, Dame.
It was like boom. I was like, oh.
Listen,
Ronnie called me. He was like, "Yo, Dame just got traded. I thought he was gonna crash on the highway. He was driving." I'm just saying, man, like, that's just crazy. Because he loved Dame Lillard. Ronnie claims that he called Dame when he first came out. He's like, "Dad, I called Dame way before he got in the league. I told you he was nice." He said he claims Dame as his own.
Listen, with John Witherspoon text about some go Duke. Man, you better go hide under a rock.
I'll be honest with you.
I know you was in North Carolina. You better go to Chapel Hill, son.
Yeah, they got college game day at Duke today, man, because they got
Notre Dame.
An undefeated Duke. This
nice campus, man. Beautiful campus.
I've been to Duke's campus. It's real nice.
Yeah, nice
it's
campus.
Nice.
Gothic. It looks real.
Even
Gothic.
Cameron Indoor, small as it was.
Yeah, it's all that Gothic and that gray stone. Probably, it's raining here. It wouldn't look too pretty on a day like today, but man, it's a beautiful place.
Hey, man, let me tell y'all, man, I was up in Raleigh. My sister-in-law lived there, Megan and Karen. They just actually moved down here this summer to Georgia, but they were living in Raleigh for the last 8 years, I guess, 7-8 years. But I went down there. I was up there this summer, and from Raleigh to Atlanta, like Raleigh to Charlotte, that whole area, you're literally, it's being built so much, you're literally in like one giant metropolitan from all the way from Raleigh, North Carolina, all the way to Georgia. If you drive it, there's not a 20-minute stretch where you're not in a like city area where they're building houses and businesses.
Yeah.
So it's really beautiful. On top of all the mountains and stuff that you see in North Carolina, like it's really amazing to see. So
nice area, definitely
nice. I went from I-85 all the way from Raleigh to Georgia. I was like, man, and I hadn't really paid attention to it. But it is really nice up there, man. So I see the appeal of Tobacco Road and all of that, and even college basketball is about to start. But we'll wait. We'll say
they started practice.
Yeah.
I think the other day. Yeah. So everybody's amping it up. All right. So we got Caleb Williams coming to Boulder today. What's going down? Okay, it's a bad man, as Stephen A. said. That's a bad young man.
Man, Prime Minute will have the home crowd. It's their Pac-12 first home opener, I guess, right? Their Pac-12, their first game at home with a Pac-12 opponent. They took it on the chin last week. Some of their holes were really exposed. Their offensive line struggled. Shedeur, they couldn't keep them upright. Their defense without Travis Hunter, they got questions in that secondary. But I think, they'll get that excitement back. They'll probably play above their heads today just because of the crowd. But, we'll see if that offensive line, the bottom line is, man, once all the hype goes out of the first quarter, now the physicality starts to come in. And whether or not they can play at the level they're going to have to play to beat USC remains to be seen. I mean, those guys have played outstanding football thus far. It's been a great, great story. But that talent level with USC is up there. But their defense is suspect. So if they can keep Shedeur upright, they'll probably be able to score.
I'm thinking high-scoring game today.
Yeah.
Because, we know Colorado defense is suspect. And USC is not that great either.
Right. Now, but it's going to be a shootout, I think.
I think it's going to be an old shootout.
I have USC winning. I think, listen, Colorado is going to be fine. That's if he doesn't get lured by another team or the NFL. I'm not convinced that Colorado is a long-term deal for Deion Sanders. I think eventually
Yeah,
he has.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I think eventually he has his eye in either the SEC or I've heard he's mended ties with Florida State, so that could be an option for him in the future. But if he stays there long enough, he is going to get some great recruits, and we're already seeing the fruits. I mean, what do they have? 80 new players that were there, something like that.
I think it was 85.
85. But he himself admitted, he said he need what was his quote? I need some dogs on the
Yeah,
offensive line. You know, because that's where the game is won. People don't understand
Yeah.
those. You can
that's
recruit
where it's
all of the
won.
flashy receive. The game is won in the trenches. If you
At
cannot protect the
every
quarterback,
level, every level.
if you cannot protect the quarterback, I don't care how good your receivers are. I don't care how much separation they get. If he doesn't have to, and that's where the game is won. So if he can, you don't have to. You get the skill players absolutely, but if you can focus on that pass rush on defense and that protection on offense, that's when you will see. Michigan has gone as far as they've gone. Yes, plug for Michigan. They've gone as far as they've gone. Their offensive line has won the award for best offensive line in college football, for 2 or 3 straight years now.
Yeah.
That's where the game. We don't have the greatest wide receivers. We certainly don't have a Marvin Harrison Jr. or Emeka Ibuka but we got guys that can protect the quarterback. You have to shore up those offensive and defensive lines. That's where the game is won. That's where Colorado is lacking, and I think that's why. I don't think it'll be as bad as it was last week because I think Oregon's a better team than USC.
Mm-hmm.
I think overall,
I think
because
Oregon's
Oregon,
the
they
best
got
team.
they have definitely have a better defense.
That
That
Bo been
USC
in college
offense
for
is
10 years,
awesome.
seems like.
Oh, Knicks looked like a world last week, and their defensive line was getting the pressure, man.
Yeah.
John, you mentioned Michigan and the defensive line and offensive line. I want to shout out your Detroit Lions for the defensive line play last Saturday.
Man, did you see that pressure they got on Jordan Love? It was unbelievable.
And that speaks to what you saw with Oregon last week. If you can disrupt that pass rush, man, they shut Jordan Love down.
They did.
It was hitting the quarterback. It was getting to him, sacks, near safeties, doing all kinds of stuff to him. Look,
listen, you gotta be able to protect the quarterback and get to him on the other side. That's
where
it.
When you got to be able to go through your progressions and if this one's not open, you got to be able to. And he didn't have time to do that, so it was textbook football. It's how you win football games.
Exactly.
And I just don't think Colorado at this point has what it takes. They'll win 8 games this year. They'll go to a bowl game, and then we'll see where he goes in terms of recruiting from here. But I think a lot of the hype was more because of Deion than his actual roster.
For sure.
I'll say this: if they pull the upset of USC today, my goodness.
Oh, it's good. Listen. It'll be right back because they're already order of magnitude ahead of schedule.
Right.
That team won 1 game last year.
One game.
And they've already tripled their output from last year.
I read some stats this week. They said $1.4 billion to the greater Boulder and Denver region of Colorado football. So
already
1.4 billion. 1.4 billion would it be in terms of economic impact?
That's Michael Jordan type of impact on a community. You know what I'm saying? That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I mean, that's just what Prime does. He brings that type of excitement. It helps that he had success in Jackson State.
Yeah, right.
It helps that he was able to pull the #1 recruit in the country to a HBCU. That people don't understand how unbelievable that was.
Right.
That guy could have went anywhere in the country.
He had them all, man.
Yeah.
He had them. Saban thought he had them locked up. He could have went to Georgia. He could have went anywhere.
He could have went anywhere he wanted to.
Travis Hunter was right down the street. I mean, he lived in Gwinnett County. He was right down the street from University of Georgia, basically one county north of him, and they wasn't able to secure him. And he went to Jackson State University, right?
That was all
Jackson State.
The court, and this is the Kirby Smart. We're about to win back-to-back national championship.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he still was like, "Deuces, I'm out." So yeah, it's crazy, man.
But yeah, I think USC probably walks out of Boulder with a 10-point win today. I don't think it'll be as, Autzen Stadium is a tough place to play.
Yeah,
in Oregon. That's a loud. It's not a huge stadium. They only hold about 50,000, but it's loud there. And I just think that was asking too much of people, of them to go in and be competitive with that game. Today will be a lot more competitive, but I still think the overall talent gap between USC and Colorado will show. And I think USC walks out with a 10-point win. It won't be a 42-6 like it was last week, but I think it's more on the lines of 37-27, something like that.
Their running back, I saw it this morning. They were talking about their running back at USC is averaging like 9 yards a carry. He's
crazy.
215, 220 pounds. So it's going to be a low. Now, just have to show up. It's all about the talent gap. It's the first year for Deion and them. They're doing a tremendous job. They got the interest. They got 3 wins already. If they win today, that's crazy. If they don't, they still on the right track.
Think about what the predictions were prior to the season starting with Colorado. They've already exceeded the predictions. There were people talking about they may win 2 games this year. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was a discredit to them, and I think that part of that disrespect is what fueled the immense hype. I mean, that was just blatantly disrespectful to somebody.
Please don't make it personal. Don't make it personal.
Well, that's the way that with sports, some of the biggest. What's Michael Jordan's famous line from The Last Dance? And I took that personal. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things you have to do to motivate yourself in sports is to take things personally.
9 million people been watching their games.
Yeah.
They expect maybe 6 million today.
And you have as many people.
That Colorado State game was the highest rated college football game ever.
And here's the thing with that.
And it was on at 10:30 on a Saturday night.
But with Deion, he's one of those figures where you have as many people tuning in to watch him lose.
Right.
It's the LeBron James. It's the LeBron James effect.
Yeah, it's very true. Great statement, John. Great statement.
As many people wanting to watch him lose as win. So that's what fuels those type of ratings.
And the best part about it is he's the coach. He don't even play.
He don't even play.
Yeah. He don't even play anymore. I saw a funny clip the other day. It was Deion. It was on NFL Network. And they were talking about Tony Romo. One of the games he broadcast, the Kansas City, they're playing Dallas. Kansas City guy came up to tackle Ezekiel Elliott, and Zeke jumped over him. And the guy go, that safety like he's scared to tackle. He go, I think Deion would have done a better job. So Deion was like, he's like, Tony, man. He go, why did you go there? He goes, I thought you wasn't my guy. He goes, I've never said anything about you going 2-4 in the playoff. He said, Tony, you forget, I got a gold jacket that I didn't have to buy.
That's right.
Deion said that. He said that nowadays the dudes he see going into the Hall of Fame, they need to create a separate wing just for him.
Where's the lie? I mean,
that's what I'm saying, man. Listen,
he's telling the truth.
Speaking of hype, the hype train, I got shout out my man Travis Kelce for dating Taylor Swift.
Man,
The one thing I can say to Travis is don't blow the bag, bro. Don't blow the bag.
Bro. That girl, she's the highest paid female entertainer behind Rihanna. She's on her way to billionaire status.
Yeah, I read that. So Travis, shout out to you, man.
Who made more money this summer? Taylor or Beyonce?
I don't. They were both.
I think it was Taylor. Taylor had more dates. Beyonce's tour wasn't as extensive as Taylor's was.
Right.
So by default, she made more money because she had more shows.
Gotcha.
Had a one night here.
That'll be interesting, John. That's your homework. Next week. Find out how much both of them gross this summer.
You want to know what's crazy though? Listen to this. This summer, when Taylor Swift was here in Atlanta, she was playing Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It was the same night. It was at State Farm Arena, which is right next door. They had Taylor Swift at Mercedes-Benz, and they had Janet Jackson at Atlanta at State Farm.
Really?
Same night, yeah. So you had all the Janet Jackson fans and all the Taylor Swift fans all converging on downtown at the same time.
Ooh, goodness. Wow. That had to be a log jam.
And both shows,
that's huge.
Both shows were sold out because Janet used to do arenas and stadiums like that. She just had State Farm that night, and then Taylor was
and they're like what, up the road from each other, sort of.
Right next door, man. Right next door on the same street.
Yikes.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, when Taylor was here, I was so upset because I had went to a Tigers game earlier in the day, and normally.
Well, that was the $80 parking, right?
Man, I was so upset, bro. When you talking about, I said, no, I'm looking, normally you go down there and you park for about $20 or, at the most 30.
Mm-hmm.
I get down there and I see $80 and $100 park. I'm like, what in God's name is this?
Yeah, bro. Milking.
Then I found out, Taylor Swift was in town tonight. I say, that's why I was like, that's good old greedy American capitalism right at work. I said, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
This ought to be illegal.
So speaking of that, real quick, and I'll get back to the sports. But I did see that they're tolling people in New York City now while you're sitting in traffic on Fifth Avenue.
Oh, because of the flood.
No, but they got tolls in the city. So you just sitting in traffic in town and you just getting tolled up while you just sitting in traffic in New York, man.
Wait. Tolls? What?
Yes. In town, sitting in New York City in traffic, and they got toll readers now while you're sitting in Manhattan date traffic. What is going on?
What?
Yes, I saw it yesterday.
So if you're in there, what, for 15 minutes?
If you're driving down 42nd Street or whatever, there are toll monitors now, tag readers in the city of New York, in Manhattan, on the streets. So you could just be driving and you'll be getting rung up for tolls while you drive it in New York City, bro. Facts. Look it up. It's a fact. Wow. I don't know what's going on. What are they doing?
Well, they better hit that 42nd Street garage, Ron.
Yeah, right. That's my spot. I guess
that's the spot right out the Lincoln Tunnel.
I figured the Knicks since the Knicks didn't get Dame, they had to find another way to make up the economic impact of not getting Dame Lillard.
Listen, if I lived in Manhattan,
they're back to they back to the meters here in Albany, actually doing it Monday through Friday.
Yikes!
Central Avenue, State Street.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is they got all these new bus, big bus places, and then the rest of them are marked for parking, but it's not as many parking spaces. But matter of fact, I have the Albany parking meter app on my phone that you can punch in when you're going downtown, whatever, and if you can get a spot though, and pay on the app.
Taylor Swift ever show up in Albany and do a concert, just put your $20 sign outside the church so you can have people park in the back.
Listen, Taylor Swift ain't gotta come out. I'll put 10-15 for St. Patrick's Day. Come on in the lot.
Right, come on in the lot. Let them charge.
I'm gonna have a few more spaces because I got the good there. I'm getting the garages tore down, so I have some more spaces.
Hey, you gotta get creative with how to make the money, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
yes,
hey,
sir.
hey.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I had D sitting out front.
They get a good spot right over on Central Avenue from the church. They can walk right over there.
Right around. They do it anyway.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
They do it anyway.
All
Yes,
right, good.
sir.
So where we going now? So
All right. So who Michigan got today, John?
They're on the road against Nebraska.
Oh,
Easy win.
game.
That shouldn't. I don't see
Hey, what do you think about what do you think about Tucker being railroaded in East Lansing?
Oh, I think he was completely railroaded. I think that relationship was 100% consensual. As wrong, and he married. So I mean, I'm not talking about the appropriateness or the morality of it, but I'm talking about the legality of it. I don't think he did, and it's just that was their way because they fired him with cause, which allows them to get out of that contract.
Out of $75 million,
which is what was their sole purpose. They wanted to get out of. They didn't think they were getting bang for their buck for that $95 million, and they wanted to get from under it, and that's what you saw.
No doubt about it. And the worst part about it is they knew about the allegations in March.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Yep. And so you let this man go through spring football, summer training camp, the beginning of the season, and you knew about this in March, and now you're coming up with it. Come on.
Total railroad, total snow job, total railroad.
No doubt about
it.
And so whatever contract they had with her, because remember they hired her in, and she was working with the sports programs about sexual harassment and stuff. So whatever she wasn't happy with, they ran with that, and now this is what they came up with.
Man, don't get me started on
the girls alone. Leave them alone. Go to work. Do your job, man.
Listen, I know this is off the sports topic, but this is one of the main reasons. Now you got girls on TikTok and in social media complaining that guys don't approach them anymore, and it's hard in the dating pool, and they can't find dates. And yeah, you know why? Because the legal system is. I mean, you scared to say hi to a woman now without them screaming sexual harassment and Me Too movement. And I'm like, man, it's, but it'll be there. They say by the year 2040, most black women between the ages of 30 and 40 will be unmarried and childless if the trend keeps going the way that it's going. Got guys that saying, listen, man, I'm not about to put my livelihood at risk just because I want to approach a woman or it's crazy. It's crazy out there, fellas. I'm glad I'm married. I'm glad I got mine. I'm glad, brother. I wouldn't want to be in today's dating pool for nothing in the world, bro.
Fact. Hey man, listen. I'm about to be 26 years deep into marital bliss.
35 this coming Sunday.
So no, I hear you. I have daughters too, and I hear about the dating pool, how horrible it is. So I understand fully. I understand. But no, man, I hear you, man. Look, leave the girls alone. Go to work, do your job, and keep your nose clean, man. That's how you approach it. He had a 75.
What's the guy? What's the player that got suspended on San Antonio? They just suspended him the other day. Same thing. 20 years old. Was shaking his butt or something in front of some girl or something, and they got him.
Yeah, but then now you got them complaining that they can't find husbands and they can't find. It's like, listen, you making this bed, you got to sleep in it now. It's y'all already outnumbered men anyway. And now that pool is shrinking even further because you got guys that saying, listen, it's for some people, it's just not worth it. You put half of what you own at risk the moment you say I do, and she can wake up one day and just decide, you know what, I'm not happy, and walk away with half of your stuff. It's getting rough out there, bro. Come to the church, fellas. You want to find good women? Come to the church, because some of
I
these
try,
folks,
I try to be a good husband. I probably watch a little bit too much sports. I admit it. But 26 years
Did you
in,
did
man,
you did you did you send her that? Did you give her your 2 weeks notice?
I went to I went to
Yeah,
I was, I
dear
was
Trisha.
I went to the grocery store the other day, a couple weeks back, and I was in there and I was checking out, and it was this lady. She was an older lady ringing me out, and she said, "You getting ready for the football game?" I said, "Yeah, I'm probably watching a little bit too much of that these days and stuff." I said, "I'm probably not really making my wife happy." She goes, "Didn't she know that? Didn't she know that about you when she married?" That I watched. So she was like, "Hey, she knew, right?" So
listen,
Well,
my
and
wife
here's the
already
thing
know
though,
what
because
time it is.
in that courting period, the worst part about it is they act like they like sports too.
uh,
They'll sit down and watch a game with you or whatever, and but then those tables turn. That's
Now I'm gonna be
the,
honest.
the
That ain't
risk.
never been my wife. My wife ain't never been no sports fan. They ain't even never tried to imply that. what that's just something she let me. Oh, that's you. We'll hook up after the game is over. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't never had that fight or that struggle. Especially this time of year, she already know what time it is with football. I can literally watch college football from sun up to sun down. I'm talking early in the morning, starting off with either the big noon show or college game day, noon games, 3:30 game, 7:30, and then you get the late kickoffs man, that's me all day. That's me all day. And then I'm gonna watch football tomorrow. So it's
let your husband watch the game. Let him watch the game.
It's only 2 days out the week. Come on.
2 days. 2 days.
What's the problem? What's the problem?
Thursday, because I was watching the game Thursday night when my Lions went up in the Lambeau. Yeah.
Congratulations on
Yeah. Take that, Packer
They beat
bastards.
Green Bay 4 in a row now, right?
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. Which
Now,
was unheard
here's
of.
my problem with the Lions. Can y'all win some home games? Maybe
Well, the
y'all win
Lions
some home games.
let me tell you what, and we didn't talk last week. I didn't get a chance to vent about that Seattle game. I was
Yeah.
so upset. The Lions should be 4-0 right now. There's no way in the world. You get the ball back. The defense, now, late in the fourth quarter, um, Jared Goff throws a pick six with like 5 minutes left. Seattle goes up by 10. Okay, boom, shake it off. We get the ball back. They march down the field and score. 3-point game. All right, defense, time to man up. Get us the ball back. Defense mans up, gets you the ball back with 1 minute and 55 seconds left on the clock and 3 timeouts. And you didn't get your ball back. You didn't get the ball back in your own 20. They got the ball back on the 50-yard line. You got the ball with almost 2 minutes at the 50-yard line with 3 times, and they didn't go for the end zone once. All of a sudden, this aggressive Dan Campbell that we see going for fake punts in his own end of the football field, you choose that. Excuse me. You choose that time to go conservative and say, "Well, we'll just play for overtime." We didn't want to. His excuse was, "Well, we didn't want to give the ball back to who's the quarterback for
Seattle.
For Seattle." We didn't want to
Oh,
give him the
Gino?
ball back with Gino. We didn't want to give him the
You
ball
was afraid
back.
of Gino?
He said we didn't want to give him the ball back with 40 seconds left on the clock. Dude, you gave him the ball back with 10 minutes now in overtime.
The one thing I'll say, John, is I like Dan Campbell, and for a couple reasons. One, he's kind of like a man's man, right?
No doubt.
He looks like he works on the line at Ford. You know what I'm saying? Like he's UAW guys on strike right now. He looks like that kind of guy. So he fits that tough guy.
Perfect fit for this city.
Yeah, he fits right in. Like the people think he's like just like them. You know what I'm saying? He's got the goatee, the unshaven goatee. You know what I mean? He looks like he work at the plant. So he fits that mold. And then he's got them playing physical football, man. They're making less mistakes. I like Jared Goff as a quarterback. They ran him out of LA. That was a mistake.
Well, I think they can win with Jared Goff. But my thing is, you get the ball back with nearly 2 minutes left on the 50-yard line with all 3 timeouts. You gotta go for the end zone, man. You cannot be content to play for overtime. You gotta go for the end zone.
Gotta go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the reason I think they're not, because they've been impressive in their 3 wins, but that one just stung, and that's the kind of win that can cost you positioning in the playoffs. And you got to win the games that you can win. Now there's some wins that you think, okay, well, it just wasn't our day today. There's no way in the world you don't go for the end zone with 2 minutes left with the ball on the 15. You got all 3 of your timeouts. That was just terrible management at the end of the game, and it came back to bite them in overtime. Seattle won the coin toss in overtime, and the Lions never saw the ball because they marched down and scored a touchdown, ended the game, which is another pet peeve of mine. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a Lions fan. I hate the NFL's overtime rule.
You don't like the sudden death?
I think each team should at least be guaranteed 1 possession. I hate their overtime rule.
What they doing in college is good though. You get a shot, and then you got
you get a shot.
Bigger play. You gotta make a play on defense.
You get a shot. There's no way that this should be.
So it's good. I don't know, man. I can't stand the Seahawks. So I was disappointed in the Lions losing that game because I felt they should be 4-0 right now, man. Your city would be on fire. It's probably
my God.
Good
oh
Lord.
my God. Do you think this city? I mean, they're already ready to burn it down now after that Packers win. But if you're talking about an undefeated 4-0 Lions team, listen.
Can't burn it down again, John. Not again. Don't burn it down again.
Bro, listen. You don't understand. Y'all have to understand.
Not again. They just built it up. Al, start boarding up your stores on Livernois.
If the Lions ever win, you are going to have news reports from here to Zimbabwe about what the Lions fan did to this city if they ever win a Super Bowl in this town.
He not lying, because when the Tigers won the World Series back in the 80s, it was just crazy.
But it'll be bigger than that. I'm telling you, it will be the biggest, most unbelievable. I've seen championships from all 3 major sports. I was 12 years old when the Tigers won in '84. I remember the Pistons back-to-back in 89 and 90. Red Wings ended a 42-year Stanley Cup drought.
They won what was 3 in a row?
They won 2, 97, 98. Did they win that? No. And then they won 2 in a row again later.
Yeah, right. Right.
So I've seen all of that. The Lions winning a Super Bowl will trump all 3 of them combined. I'm telling you, if they could ever make it to, it'll be the most unbelievable celebration in this city. This city is.
Did you guys know that the bell on the old Taco Bell buildings actually rang?
Really?
Yeah.
That was
back in '84 when the Tigers won the World Series. Now this was up in East Lansing. The college kids, they going crazy. All the Michigan kids going crazy. Dude, they climbed up on Grand River Avenue. We had a Taco Bell. Dude climbed up the roof on Taco Bell Grand River Avenue and was ringing. I was like, I didn't know the bell,
You know the bell
and
rang.
it was ringing. The bell was like, what? You
I
could
did
hear it
not
all
know that.
over campus, like, ding.
I did not know
Dude,
that.
'cause it was all drunk and stuff. Oh, it was a madhouse on campus when I can't imagine what would happen if the Lions won the Super Bowl.
Listen.
Oh, it'd be crazy.
Listen, they're gonna have to issue a curfew. I'm telling you, if the Lions win the Super, let me tell you, bro, it's gonna. I don't care, even if it's in February with 2 feet of snow outside. It won't matter. It won't matter. It won't matter. It'll be the biggest.
It's true. It's true.
There is so much pent up frustration. It is, brother.
And
Brother.
John, I don't know if you remember the Tigers win the World Series is in October, late October, and then the following week it was Hell's Night. Detroit was burnt to the crisp, boy.
Yep, they do that. They used to do that Devil's Night every year.
Oh, they used to do that Devil Night in Detroit, man. And 2 nights, Uncle Tim used to always say, if you're in Detroit, make sure you hit the floor. Was Devil's Night and New Year's Eve.
Yep.
Out there one time, New Year's Eve, right? And Uncle Tim was going out. He go, Herman. He said, since if you're not going to church, he said at 12 o'clock, hit the floor. I was like, what? He and he left. He just left and went out. Go out to party, whatever he's going. Man. And remember, he lived over on Prairie off of Tireman, John. So,
oh Lord,
man,
Vietnam.
12 o'clock came. It was like crossfire. I hit the floor so quick because literally at 12 midnight, they will go outside their house and shoot guns.
Man, listen, that's just too much.
That's Detroit.
I can't say he didn't warn me.
That's Detroit, man. That's been
Detroit,
a staple.
boy.
That's been a staple in this town.
If the Lions win the Super Bowl, they're gonna bring out the bazookas.
I'm telling you, bro. The cannonballs, the bazookas. I'm telling you.
Somebody gonna steal a tank from the Detroit National Guard Armory.
Bro, you gonna have to have the Army, the Navy, the National Guard. I'm telling you, I'm looking at the reaction. Did you see the Lions fans in Lambeau Field?
Green Bay?
They rolling out hard lately, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's going to be pandemonium. It's already there. I wish y'all were here. I'm telling you, it's nuts. And we 3-1. We ain't even in a quarter.
Cracking up, John, was Bishop Ellis had the game on at they had like football night at church. They had what's the name out front. They was tailgating.
You talking about Spencer Ellis?
No, this was Charles.
Charles Ellis. Okay.
And they had the big screen on, and they had the people, all the brothers and some sisters. I mean, I'm saying this was just the 4th game of the year. Can you imagine what are you gonna do if they have a Super Bowl?
You got a playoff game.
You got to try to get people in the building however you can. Put the game on.
Go on YouTube. Go on YouTube and look up the 1991 when the Lions' last Super Bowl win against Dallas. Super Bowl win.
Playoff win.
A playoff win against Dallas. The Silverdome. It was the Pontiac. It was deafening noise in that Silverdome. It was It was unbelievable. And then they got trounced by Washington a week later in the NFC Championship game. But that's okay. But the fact that we've had one playoff, I just want you to hear the futility in this. The Detroit Lions have had one playoff win since 1957.
That's tough, bro.
Listen to this, dog. 1957. And that one playoff win that we've had since 1957, that was 32 years ago.
Yep. I remember the game. I remember watching
32 years. 1957, no, people hadn't even heard of JFK. He wasn't even president.
My mother was
Eisenhower.
Yeah, my mother was still in Inkster.
In Inkster then. She was still living in Michigan.
Yeah. Imagine that.
The entire time my mother was in Albany, New York. Wow.
And just to think, and then you've had some great iconic play. When we got Barry, we just knew, okay, this is gonna be. And I mean, even some of those teams in the 90s where you had Herman Moore and Brett Perriman and Kevin Glover
They've had some talent.
They had some great talent, could just never put it all together for some reason or another. It felt like a cloud was just over this organization.
Hey, John, I was thinking about this last week too. I've been meaning to ask you guys, all you guys, all you Michigan homers, your nephew, AP Jr., Andrew, and all you guys. I want to know, as Lions fans, one of your best linebackers ever from Ohio State. How did you guys deal with that?
You talking about Chris Spielman?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, listen. I'm okay with the part of it will always be he's a Buckeye, but what he gave the Honolulu Blue, I'll forgive him for his bad taste of where he went to college, just for what he gave this Lions organization.
I just love it.
But yeah, I love Chris.
The way he went to college. That kid right there. That you talking about a football player? Good.
He gave his blood, sweat, and tears to this Lions organization. So I'll always be a fan of Chris Spielman. Buckeye nonetheless, but hey, you know,
amazing, man.
Everybody make mistakes in life. So
I figured I would ask.
Everybody makes mistakes in life. Everybody makes mistakes in life, so it's all good. I forgive him for that.
Well, I'm happy for you. Congratulations to the Michigan fans and the Detroit fans, y'all, the Lions fans. Y'all on the upswing. You're on the upswing.
We will see how far it goes. I'm a little more. Michigan has been a little bit more proven over the past couple of years. Then the Lions. Obviously, we've been coming off two.
Look who's here!
Oh Lord!
Look who's in! Coming in, Grace. Coming in.
Oh,
come on in, Grace. Come on in.
Greater
What's
Grace.
going on? What's going on, Grace? Welcome to Sports Chat.
Come on, Sports Chat.
Hey, you want to tell them your funny story about the? You want to tell them your story about the Dallas game?
What story? What story?
With Min Odessa, the intensity.
Oh yeah. Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm trying to get on another one. I hit this one by mistake. But yeah. So what happened? You guys know the Dallas game. They won. They blew them out.
I mean, beat them like they stole something
in a big way. So really, the first quarter, I guess Giant fans are not diehard fans, because after the first quarter, they were leaving. Weren't they leaving? They were leaving. It was like they're not even coming back, and it wasn't even 40, but they were leaving. So they're not diehard fans. They're not going down with the ship, right? And so anyway. And so we're in the second quarter, third quarter. So, it was 40. Okay. They know they won. So now Dallas fans are now leaving. The third quarter is raining, sheets of rain. Dallas fans are leaving. They're walking off. And so I had to go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom. And I see everybody coming down. I go, wow, let me wait for Odessa and Herman for them to come down. And, we can all walk back to the bus. And I'm waiting in the 10 minutes waiting. So I go, let me see where they at. And so I go in their stadium and I have to look up because it is raining Odessa and Herman is under this blue plastic tarp that I bought to stay wet, and they're looking at watching the game as if anticipating something. I'm like, what are you waiting for? I'm like, yeah, know y'all won, right? We won. We won.
You do realize this game was over at halftime, right? You do understand that.
Man, I watched that game. I was like,
so I left. I was, I had put posted picture. Who was the greatest fan? I left to go to the car, right?
Yeah,
and
that was.
Odessa and Herman left to stay to the very last play. The very
that's
last
play. That's a fan for you. That's a fan.
Yeah. I gotta go. I went back to the bus. I got warm and I warmed up, took off, put on some dry clothes, and I was like, that's it. But I'm glad they had a good time.
Excellent.
Bye-bye.
Be your grace.
Yeah. All right, hey, well, the kickoffs are starting again, man.
Man.
All right, man. We're gonna go. Listen, we always enjoy our time with you guys on Facebook. Witherspoon, Lori, I saw you guys get on today. We love you. Glad you tuned in. We'll see you again next week, Lord willing. John Ron, enjoy the rest of your football weekend and football day. Tell Trish we said happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday.
And all that good stuff.
All right, fellas.
All right, we'll see you next time around,
week.
Lord willing. We
see
love
y'all.
you. We're out.
Thanks.
All right.
All right, fellas. I'm out.
All right, man.
All right, man.
Hey, listen. Yo, there's a lot of people be watching us, man. I don't know if they be live, but when I was at the Moth last week, everybody, oh, you're not doing your show today? Oh, I love your show. I'm like,
yeah, all right. Let's keep at it.
It was nice to hear, right?
Let's keep at it.
Nice to hear. All right, man, take it easy.
All right, bro. I'll see you next week.
All right, talk to you.